In early October, we left from Carlsbad, California, and we drove all the way to the south rim of the Grand Canyon, which is in the northern part of Arizona in the high desert. And we arrived there pretty much when the sun had gone down at the very end of the day. I had no idea what to expect during this trip, but it became so clear right away that I was going to be seeing an amazing array of colors everywhere I went. I heard this story once about the first time a person went to the Grand Canyon and what it was like to walk up to that edge for the first time and see the canyon open up right in front of you. And sure enough, as I'm walking up, the exact same thing is happening to me. It was like a little kid at Disneyland. As soon as I walked up to this ledge, I saw the most amazing canyon as far as the eye can see.
Ich habe mir den Wahlspruch zu eigen gemacht: Die beste Regierung ist die, welche am wenigsten regiert. Und ich sehe gerne, wenn schneller und gründlicher nach ihm gehandelt würde. Wenn er verwirklicht wird, dann läuft es auf dies hinaus. Und daran glaube ich auch. Die beste Regierung ist die, welche gar nicht regiert. Und wenn die Menschen einmal reif dafür sein werden, wird dies die Form ihrer Regierung sein. Eine Regierung ist bestenfalls ein nützliches Instrument, aber die meisten Regierungen sind immer und alle sind manchmal unnütz.
The park was absolutely packed, and we had to get out of there. But before we could leave, we find my truck surrounded by two gigantic elk. These things are huge when you get up to them close. And we realize we're not going anywhere until these things get out of our way. Before we leave, we head down to the canyon for one last look, and really to have no idea where we're going to go from here, other than we need to get up to Page, Arizona. Now, between here and there, we're not sure what's going to happen, so we just eventually set off. I turned off the main road and found ourselves on this dirt road for about 18 miles. And by the time we reconnected to the main road, we were in Navajo Nation, right at the Little Colorado, which had dug this huge canyon in the ground. And we had no idea that this was here. So we decided to go walk out and check it out. The crazy thing about this place was we had just come from the Grand Canyon, which is full of tens of thousands of people. And now we arrived to this other gigantic canyon. And there's absolutely nobody there. It's just two people all by ourselves looking over this gigantic canyon. It started getting late in the day and we decided to get on the road and make it to Page, Arizona. But along the way, we ended up stopping at all these beautiful scenes where we would look over the horizon to see these red mountains up against the blue sky, or green grass or plants up against an orange mountainside. And it ended up taking us forever to get there. And along the way, we got to this overlook, and we can see almost 180 degrees around. And the sun was going down over the horizon. Again, the sky was full of these amazing colors. And we stayed there for a half hour and eventually just watched the sun go down and set over the horizon. It was the end of our first day, and it was so much more than I ever imagined. But we had 9 more days ahead of us, so we got on the road and headed towards Page, Arizona.